Man-Eating Demon and Atsuna's Head. Once upon a time, there lived a woman named Atsuna and her husband. One day, the husband had to go far away for work. "I'll come back as soon as I can. Take care of the house while I'm gone," he said as he left. After he had gone, Atsuna was alone, weaving rope. Suddenly, an old woman she had never seen before appeared and threw the rope into the hearth. "What are you doing?" Atsuna cried, but the old woman ignored her and started eating the ashes. Atsuna was so shocked that she couldn't move. He, "I'll be back at the same time tomorrow," the old woman said with a grin, her mouth covered in ashes, before leaving. The next day, Atsuna was too scared to focus on her work. When it was about time for the old woman to return, she took 3 persimmon seeds and hid in a chest on the 2nd floor. Soon, the old woman arrived. "Oh, she's not here?" the old woman muttered as she walked around the hearth before starting to climb the stairs. Atsuna, trying to scare her off, bit into one of the seeds. Crunch. The old woman froze. What was that noise? But she kept climbing the stairs. Atsuna bit into the 2nd seed. Crunch. The old woman stopped again. That's a disturbing sound. But she continued climbing. The footsteps grew closer and closer, and Atsuna was almost suffocating with fear. She bit into the last seed, but it didn't deter the old woman this time. "I can smell you, I can smell you," the old woman said as she reached the 2nd floor, sniffing around. Atsuna clasped her hands together in prayer as the old woman opened the chest. "Aha, found you? I'm here to eat you today," she said, dragging Atsuna out and starting to devour her from the feet up. In no time, she had eaten most of Atsuna's body, but miraculously, Atsuna remained alive. That was delicious. "I'll save the rest for tomorrow," the old woman said, placing Atsuna's head in a cupboard before leaving the house. The next morning, Atsuna's husband returned home, unaware of what had happened. "Atsuna, I'm back." "Atsuna?" he called, but there was no answer. Strange, he thought as he searched the house, but she was nowhere to be found. Feeling hungry, he casually opened a cupboard and was horrified to find Atsuna's head staring back at him. "Ah!" He screamed and tried to flee, but Atsuna's head rolled after him, latching onto his chest. "No! Get away!" he shouted. "Are you trying to leave me behind?" Atsuna's head asked. "No, I would never. You're my beloved wife," he replied. "Then feed me," she demanded. Reluctantly, he went to an inn, hiding her head from sight. He rented a room and ordered food. As soon as the tray was placed down, Atsuna's head jumped onto it. "Feed me," she repeated, opening her mouth. Despite his love for her, the sight was too much to bear. "I can't take this anymore," he cried, covering her head with a bowl and tying it with a sash. He ran out of the inn and into the street. "What's going on?" the innkeeper asked, trying to follow. But Atsuna's head rolled down the stairs, scaring the innkeeper into unconsciousness. Atsuna's head continued to chase her husband through the streets. "Help! Somebody help me," he shouted, running until he collapsed into a patch of irises and mugwort. Just then, the head stopped and said, "Curses! If only there weren't irises and mugwort," before rolling back the way it had come. Relieved, the husband realized that irises and mugwort had saved him. He gathered them and placed them around the windows and doors of his house. Thanks to this, neither the man-eating old woman nor Atsuna's head ever returned. To this day, people decorate their homes with irises and mugwort on May 5th to ward off evil spirits and monsters.